Hello and welcome. I'm Blair Blackwell, and this is the Daily Cyber Brief. Here's today's rundown of the biggest cybersecurity stories you need to know today. Good day. This is the Daily Cyber Brief for February 2nd. Here are the key cyber risks shaping today's session. 2 software supply chain compromises delivering malware, expanding SaaS credential theft via social engineering, and renewed pressure on cloud databases and critical infrastructure. We start with Update Channel Trust. Researchers report the update infrastructure for eScan antivirus was compromised, with malicious updates pushed through legitimate servers to both enterprise and consumer systems. The operation delivered a persistent downloader and multi-stage malware, turning a safety mechanism into an infection vector. It's a stark reminder that software supply chain integrity and update verification remain central to endpoint security and patching hygiene. In a parallel supply chain hit to developer tooling, attackers abused the OpenVSX registry by compromising a legitimate developer account and publishing malicious versions of 4 established extensions on January 30th. Those updates embedded the glassworm malware, reaching downstream users who trusted the publisher and the registry. Developer ecosystems, extension marketplaces, and CI/CD pipelines continue to be attractive paths to scale malware distribution with minimal friction. Turning to identity and SaaS, Mandiant highlights an expansion of shiny hunter-style campaigns that use voice phishing and well-crafted, company-branded credential pages to steal single sign-on credentials and even multi-factor authentication codes. The goal is unauthorized access to cloud applications for data theft and extortion. This is social engineering paired with identity compromise at scale, targeting the business backbone, SaaS platforms, identity providers, and collaboration suites. Meanwhile, Europe's energy sector drew unwanted attention. CERT Polska detailed coordinated cyber attacks on more than 30 wind and solar farms, a manufacturing firm, and a large combined heat and power plant serving nearly 500,000 customers. The activity occurred in late December and has been attributed by the national team, underscoring how operational technology and critical infrastructure remain in scope for multi-target campaigns. On the data front, exposed MongoDB instances are again being swept up in automated extortion, with actors wiping data and demanding relatively small ransoms for so-called restoration. The tactic is low cost for attackers and high friction for organizations that left databases reachable, illustrating how cloud misconfiguration and internet-exposed services continue to translate into quick monetization. On the privacy side, Apple is adding a control that limits the precision of location data shared with cellular networks on some iPhone and iPad models. It's a notable shift toward minimizing location tracking at the infrastructure layer, aligning mobile privacy settings with enterprise mobility and compliance expectations. Looking ahead, watch for advisories and integrity updates from affected software and extension maintainers, continued credential harvesting lures tied to voice phishing, and ongoing opportunistic scanning for exposed databases. Active exploitation and social engineering are both in motion. What to watch for today: identity providers and single sign-on platforms facing phishing-enabled takeover attempts, developer registries and browser IDE extensions as supply chain targets, software update servers and content delivery paths, cloud-hosted databases that may be exposed, and energy sector operators mindful of multi-entity targeting. The takeaway: trust abuse in software supply chains and human-focused identity attacks are driving today's risk. The question for the week is whether defenders can harden update paths and identity journeys faster than attackers pivot to the next weak link.
That's it for today's edition of the Daily Cyber Brief. Thanks for listening. I'm Blair Blackwell. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not cybersecurity, legal, or financial advice.